Okay, we're back again. Michigan Conservative Roundtable. Kim is to my left, Mac is to my right, TJ in the middle, and here we go. And we wanted to just give some more of our thoughts on COVID-19, aka the Chinese virus, aka the Wuhan virus. Everyone's got to know it came from China by now, and even the Wuhan province of China. And I guess what had me a little worked up is the media's efforts to put a political spin on what we're going to call this. President Trump, and we're going to mention Kellyanne also here, but doing these news conferences, press conferences, and NBC in particular, but NBC's the easy one that comes to mind. I'm sure there was a couple others. They're posturing and trying to puff themselves up by questioning President Trump, kind of out and out accusing him of racism because he called it a Chinese virus. And I really enjoyed President Trump's response when he said, "Well, I call it the Chinese virus because it came from China." And we've said this. Oh, see, I just touched my eye, everyone. And it's so hard not to do that. But in the past, we've talked about all sorts of efforts on the media, and we've talked a lot about border enforcement. For instance, because President Trump wanted to enforce the border, well, now he's a racist. Because he made the excrement hole statement. Well, that was a racist statement too, remember?
I remember.
And I'm being politically correct in using the word excrement, everybody. Okay? At every turn, they make an effort to call President Trump and all his fellow Republicans racist. And there's reasons why President Trump calls it the Chinese virus. As he said in his press conference, it came from China, specifically the Wuhan province. What's so insulting about how this all began is you have the great socialist state of China, the ones that the liberals want to defend and glorify. The Chi-Coms were more concerned with their image than the world's health,
and probably their economy,
and their economy. And I think this is what kind of fired President Trump up is, they were more concerned with concealing it than they were doing anything else. That seemed to consume the bulk of their effort, was the concealing. And then once they got caught and identified, now the propaganda machine kicks in. It's all a bunch of lies. To even include, China tried saying how the U.S. military personnel actually brought it to that area.
Yeah,
and I think, in what I read, I think that was the last straw with President Trump. So far, you guys?
Well, China's got a horrible human rights record. They kill people and harvest their organs for those more deserving. They enslave a billion people in their country. They're not good people.
You have to look at when this started and when we started learning about it. It was during the protest against China. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden we had a virus that was killing people. I mean, that to me is a little bit of a coincidence.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to go back on is our border. We've had Asians coming across our border for years and years and years. Mm-hmm. I think it was like as of February, across the Texas border, they had caught over 359 Asians in just 2 months coming across our borders. Our border should have been shut down long ago. The Democrats have fought against this. They were angry at Trump for not shutting down domestic flights earlier, but yet don't shut down those borders.
Right. Yeah, they like to have their...
like we said, they like to talk out of both sides of their mouth,
So, the other thing is the export business we've got to look at. I think it's time we become more dependent in this country and not depend on China for all of our goods and electronic stuff and stuff like that. And, what was it, the tariff that the Democrats were so upset about?
Right, they didn't want any tariffs on China. They just wanted to keep that money rolling in. Let them submarine us economically.
Right.
Of course, I would tell you today's Democratic Party is all about destroying this country, getting rid of this constitutional republic and replacing it with a world government.
Something else I wanted to touch on here is and I don't know if you have the answer to this question, but I don't know how this Wuhan virus originated. The thought is this is what happens. China has long been suspected of the illegal trafficking of exotic pets. Mm-hmm. And this is why, and if you ever think about it, well, why can't we, why aren't we allowed to own certain types of pets? And I always got the impression that it had to do with health risks and how it would affect society regarding its health. And then here you got China with questionable exotic pets being trafficked internationally, okay, black market, and but no one wants to call them out for it,
Well, everyone's so damn worried about being called a xenophobe. Call me whatever you want. I couldn't care less.
And throw in their third world living condition, throw in their lagging technology, and any further thoughts there?
Well, the thing is that we've known for years and years and years. Most of our viruses are originating, a lot of them from China. We've got the avian flu, which, by the way, they say is rearing its head again in China currently. All the flus that have come out of there, the Hong Kong flu, the coronavirus, and all that, due to the living conditions, they live on top of each other. It sounds funny. They eat weird things. Their
not prepared properly.
Sanitation problems.
They probably eat what they have.
And you want to know something? The libs would have us return to those types of living standards. That ought to be a wake-up call for everybody.
Going back to your Hunger Games theory. The media is, they ought to be ignoring idiots like Debra Messing, who's at best a has-been. Bette Midler, I don't know, maybe she's off her Prozac or whatever she's on. Rob Reiner, another loser. They need to quit going to these people. Who the hell are these people? Why are the three I just mentioned any different than the three of us? I mean, we're not on Fox News or CNN or MSNBC with Rachel Maddow, who I couldn't stand to be in the same room with. But, they just keep throwing these idiots out there. And Debra Messing said we all need to die.
And I'd like to add at this time the press conference Kellyanne Conway had last week. The media so eager to get President Trump, even if it means through Kellyanne Conway, accusing her and her association with President Trump of being racist toward the Asian ethnicity. And I kind of suspected this when I saw a picture of her husband, but it was interesting to hear her say it. Her children, Kellyanne Conway's children, through marriage to her husband, her children are 25% Asian. And I almost got a perverse satisfaction of her throwing that little fact that none of them even considered right back in their face.
Yeah.
They're accusing Kellyanne Conway of being racist to the Asian ethnicity. And she goes, where you come from? My children are 25% Asian. I kind of suspected, but, hearing her say it confirmed what I thought, I guess you could say.
Well, I'm not sure we're going to say it here first, but when are we going to get our the Jussie Smollett's going to start popping up with the Asians? Oh, I'm afraid to go outside because they're going to get me because of what the president said. I know it's coming.
That's ridiculous.
I know it's coming.
Beyond ridiculous. trying to make big things out of little things when we've got a virus that we need to help control.
Mhm.
And is just totally diverting it away from that and causing more difficulties.
Well, former presidential candidate Hillary Clinton had to throw her 2 cents in how the president's a xenophobe because he said the word Chinese. And of course, when she called blacks super predators, that was okay.
I read another article. I like reading the Federalist, everyone. So if you want to go to a good website, go to thefederalist.com, because that's where I get a lot of my information from. And so, I read another article from the Federalist, and, they were touching on how they were taking shots at Trump, President Trump, for saying Chinese virus. And they said Chinese is a nationality like American. And when you consider the grammatical structure of the phrase, Chinese is the adjective and virus is the noun.
Well, AOC, with her usual spewing of idiocy, said people aren't going to out to Chinese restaurants because they're afraid that we're going to get the virus there. I don't want to get the virus from Marco's Pizza. I don't want to get it at all. But I don't have any belief that Chinese that live in this country and run restaurants are going to give me that virus any more than anyone else. The pump at the Speedway or what have you.
In wrapping up here, I don't know how much more these guys got, but I'm compelled to mention Stephen Colbert. Okay, yeah.
Propagandist.
Yeah. Not that I watch him much because I can't stand it, but again, given the article in the Federalist, I guess he's got a made-up character on his show, Ching Chong Ding Dong. You know what?
Bing boom bang.
I'm
right?
assuming the
Me too,
Federalist
well.
is accurate, but I guess Stephen Colbert has a character, Ching Chong Ding Dong. He's also quoted as mocking Asian speech pattern when attempting to speak English. I love tea. It's so good for you. Stephen Colbert. And also Stephen Colbert is reported to say Asians are just kung fu Mexicans. I guess it's...
What the hell does that even mean?
No
Well,
kidding. That's
I don't know,
crazy.
but I suppose Stephen Colbert he's got the green light to this mean-spirited verbiage,
Well, he's a mean-spirited, snarky a-hole, in my opinion, but I don't watch that jerk for
Well,
even 10
that
seconds.
I don't even know who he is, so it tells you a whole lot.
Well, he fancies himself a comedian, and he's not even that funny. And if you look to the night that when President Trump won, him and his audience were weeping almost actual tears at the prospect of President Trump winning. You know what? That you can enjoy yourself watching that little.
Well, I have heard it called the Kung flu. Some people are using that term.
Yeah. Oh. I'm glad you brought that up. They mentioned that to Kellyanne, and she goes, "Who said that?" And they couldn't say. And Kellyanne calling them out. You said one of us said it. Now you tell us who said it, because it's just it's one of these summarily. You just summarily say it. Well, it's been said.
Well, we're all of an age that we remember that no news source would go with anonymous sources.
Right.
And they do that constantly. When you hear the term anonymous source, it means I made it up.
We don't
Yeah.
have a source.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just we're just going to say it, and I really enjoyed Kellyanne Conway. You said it was said. Now you tell me who said it. And no, and Kellyanne was classic Kellyanne in that regard.
Well, Soledad O'Brien got caught in that lie. Some White House official said,
Yeah.
well, if somebody said it, spill the name. You're a
Yeah.
journalist, supposedly.
Tell us.
You're supposedly black, too, but we all know that's a lie.
All right, any more rantings here?
No, I'm done ranting.
I'm done.
Okay, you're done. Do we all feel better? Are we healed? All right. Okay. So hopefully you too are healed. Be safe. Watch your six, and don't tread on me.